out several middlemen by doing this. Home recording gear became normal. And when I tell you like how slow the industry has reacted to things like the internet, when I moved to LA, I've only been in LA since 2015. When I moved to LA, people were still making me come into a studio to record an audition. And I was like, bro, I have the same microphone as you. Like, it's like, I don't know why I'm here. They're very slow to react on the coast. And so what happened is kind of like they maintained this idea that the voice acting industry is this thing. It is this exclusive thing. They were completely blind to the fact that an entirely new industry had come up underneath them on the internet. It used to be the two towers, right? It was LA and New York. And those towers are still there, but there's a lot of little cities in between where you can do this job from anywhere. COVID happened and really solidified that, where it didn't matter where you were, even if you were in the middle of LA, you were still recording from home. And it didn't matter, and like it became normal that, I mean, guys, I have seen some shit when I look at other people's recording studios. Like I have seen things, like I know what they ate for dinner the night before because it's freaking everywhere. I know what color underwear they wear, right? Because it's just people are recording in their closets. And suddenly this whole idea that like, you gotta go to $1 million studio, you gotta have this big time agent, you gotta have this $1,000 microphone really began to erode, right? Studios realized they could cast from anywhere. Brands wanted direct access to voices without the middlemen, which I already talked about. And clients are really caring more about like, can I get a good functioning voice into this spot rather than going through a bunch of wickets that they used to have to go through. I will say that one of the things that happened during this time was that they realized that voice actors suck as engineers. And so we have all of these sound engineers who are like pulling their hair out because voice actors didn't know how to adjust their volume knob. And this is a true story. I was with an extremely famous voice actor in a session, worth many multiple times the amount of money than I am. Didn't know how to adjust his volume, right? So the pendulum swung a little bit back where engineers were like, oh my God, please bring these people into the studio. Like we need people in studio to do it. But the industry has totally and wildly changed. We kind of said all this already. I'm off book. And so that gave rise to this phrase that I think I need to copyright, which I call the talent entrepreneur. Back in the old world, you just needed to be good on the microphone. That's it. You needed to be good at parties because you needed to schmooze with agents, and you needed to schmooze with buyers, another word we use for clients. And that was it, right? You didn't need to know where your volume knob was. You didn't need to know what an event in Pro Tools was. You didn't need to know what gain was. You didn't know what Polaroid patterns or cardioid patterns were on microphones. You didn't need to know anything about acoustic treatment. You walked into a studio, some very attractive people made you coffee, you walked into a booth, you did your thing, you went home and you got paid. It's not the way it is anymore. Now we have this idea that you're not just a performer, you're a service provider. You're someone that needs to understand business, manage your money, manage your jobs, keep track of your stuff in like a CRM, know who you're talking to, remind them you exist. Audition, 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 audition. How many times do you guys think I have auditioned in my career? Shout out a number.
1,000.
Over 100. Thousands? No one's close yet. I have auditioned over 70,000 times in my career. I kept track of that shit. It is thousands. Just not the higher thousands. Right? But on the other side, there's a lot more that's in your control. That's the good thing. The bad thing is, there's a lot more that's in your control. So if you fumble the ball, it's a little harder to succeed. But you don't need permission to do it anymore. This idea that like, you have to be in a certain place. You have to know people. You have to have a theater degree. You have to have certain demos. You have to go with a coach. It's not there anymore. But now it's all on you as an actor. So if you're motivated enough, you can build a career from literally nothing, from the military to full-time. So it's not about getting discovered anymore. that idea, right? Like I'm waiting for someone to discover me, my breakthrough role, my big thing that's gonna set me forward forever and ever. I've booked some big things. I don't think those big things have really booked me anything else. It's always on the quality of my audition and the quality of my business going into it. It's a career path, not a lottery that like it used to be. That created a problem because there was no educational system to do it. There was coaches, right? Would you ever want to learn how to be a plumber for like an hour a week? It would take you decades to get the amount of experience necessary to do it. And a coach is going to sit there and talk with you about like, okay, here's how to nail your commercial read. This is what this is. This script can be broken down this way. Here's a way to look at this. Here's a way to look at these specs. But the questions that didn't get answered was, well, how can I be that talent entrepreneur? How do I manage my money? How do I negotiate? What the hell do I charge these people? What's a good rate? I'm still looking at all your faces in my brain when I said that anime was the worst paying thing you could do in voiceover, right? There are some actors that don't know what to charge. How to market yourself, how to build a workflow so that you can get your stuff done in like a reasonable amount of time. How to manage clients, how to manage those relationships, how to work inside a piece of software that makes your audio sound good, how to not overproduce, how to not underproduce, how to pick a microphone, how to treat a room. It's a lot of shit, right? Am I overwhelming anybody in this room?
No.
Good. Okay, there's one honest person in the back. Okay. So the rest of this is basically going to be your guys' questions. So that's basically why I built LearnVoiceActing.com. And if you're not on like my mailing list and you want to, I have a ton of free resources on my YouTube channel. Like, yes, I offer paid classes and stuff like that, but there's a lot of stuff to get started on there for free. So if you just go to LearnVoiceActing.com and sign up for the mailing list, you're going to get all this stuff. It's all, I always make the actors I work with focus on the business side as well, because there's so much more to this than getting behind the microphone. Now, you have to be a talent entrepreneur. And from an acting perspective, there is so much more than what voice you can sound like. There's still a lot of acting involved in this, like a ton of acting. I'm not saying that you shouldn't learn how to act. I'm saying it's way simpler than you think it is to act. And there's also a ton of other stuff on the other side that you need to focus on. That's pretty much it, guys. That's all I wanted to talk to you about kind of dispelling the myths of what this industry really is. So the rest of this panel is me answering your burning questions about anything. And so I'm opening up to you guys. We can talk about demos, websites, reels, we can talk about agents, we can talk about finding your own work, literally anything that's on your brain that you, now I should have put at least a few cracks in the foundation of what you think you know about voice acting, and I'm here to jam the wedge in further, all the way in the back.
How do you deal with rejection?
You get rejected. So, do you think I booked 70,000 times? Holy shit, I've been rejected a lot. Send it and forget. Fire and forget is like the third lesson in my academy, because it has to be about the next opportunity. One of the things that actors have a really tough time with is they think that opportunity is a lake that runs dry. It's not. It's a river. Opportunity is a river. It is always flowing. So if you're looking at an opportunity that just went past, you're looking the wrong direction. Look to see what's coming towards you. So that audition exists right here. As soon as you see it, look this way, because the water's coming this way. Water, who cares about the water flowing? Let the water flow in that direction. Thank you for laughing. Just let it flow. Yeah?
So, I mean, you did specifically mention that cartoons and anime are the worst occupations in the voice industry.
I think they're great, they just don't pay as well.
How did it come to be? I'm just wondering.
So, pretty much all the contracts, figuring out how much you get paid in VO is all about the usage, right? So it's where that thing is being used. If it's being used in a cartoon, it functions under one contract. If it's been used in a dub, it's functioning under another contract. So it's a lot of inside baseball about like what happened in 1990 when they were trying to figure out how to pay people in an industry, anime, that is. I'll talk specifically about anime. That like wasn't super popular yet, right? Like 1992, not a whole lot of cosplay going on, right? Like not a whole lot of big conventions going on where people are.
I know I'll never be the same. Shook my world so hard again. Wish I washed away my sins. He's a dead man walking, blank stare in his eyes. Should have given up on the ones I trust. Never should have been surprised when they shot him down. Cold blood to the ground.